morning, happy Sunday. I'm still getting used to filming myself and I look really red. So I don't actually know if sorry, I'm fully distracted by this guy. He's like so amazing. So on a Monday, I do recovery on a Monday. So I cycle down to Shelley Beach on a Monday and I have a coffee. Actually, I was having a coffee. Now I don't have coffee. That's another story for another day. So I come down on Monday, I cycle down on a Monday. I don't know if I should be telling this story because it's like the type of work I do. If someone was to stalk me, they're like, oh, we know where she is on a Monday morning. Well, actually, you know what? I get it all wrong anyway. So even if they wanted to stalk me, to hunt me down, to kill me, I would get the dates mixed up. So I think I'm safe. So anyway, on a Monday morning, I cycled down, and the other day I saw this bloke. I'm going to spin the camera around. Hold up, if I can make it work. Oh no, I'll pause it. Okay, so for some reason today I can't flip my camera. Oh, this is annoying. So can you see that dude down there? Hopefully that did it. So he must do Tai Chi, but anyway, it's brilliant seeing him do that. So I think the reason I'm red is because it's actually it's still dark down here. And so I've got the light on for the phone to be able to film, and I think what's doing is throwing a red. Anyway, it's meant to be raw, it's meant to be authentic, it's meant to be real, it's meant to be relatable. There's so many R's there. Real, resonating, I didn't say that one, but anyway, real, raw, and rah-rah, whatever. So anyway, okay, to update you as to what we're doing. So we are oh my God, I should check the day before I come on this thing. Okay, we're at day 62 or something. So yesterday was my first day back running. The goal was to do 20 Ks. Anyway, I took off. It's actually quite funny because Lucy said to me she could hear me moaning. And I was in pain. I was in absolute pain. It was so bad I wanted to cry. I was screaming down the road, but I was like, fuck it, it's gonna get better. And I thought maybe just after I hit the 2Ks, it will start to I'll get a momentum. Anyway, obviously once I hit the 2Ks, I started to get the momentum, but I was in pain, right? So I'm running. When I saw the hills, what I did was my game plan, which is when I see the hills, I walk up the hills. Anyway, running. And then I running back because I went 5Ks out and went to go 5Ks back in. So it was going to be a 5 times 4, which would have then equated to the 20 Ks. Anyway, running down to Shaddy, who, classic story, this is so funny for anyone that lives on the Central Coast. So Shaddy owns the car wash 2261 at Long Jetty. Anyway, he's the most beautiful man, kind of like your ride or die in life, right? If you never needed anything, you go to Shaddy, he'll look after you. So I'm running down, I see him, I'd caught up with him the night before, him and Bobby Locker, and he's like, Cuz, do you need anything? I'm like, yes, water. So he gets me a water, and I'm like, oh, by the way, sorry Shaddy, I never came back. So I had the water, and I said, look, I'll leave my water with you because I've got to come back, I've got to double back, I've got 20 Ks to do. Anyway, so I got back to my car, and on the way I was messaging Dax from Next Gen, so massive shout out to Dax. I was asking him about some recovery stuff because I plan on getting a DEXA scan to do the DEXA for body composition and bone density. So anyway, I was messaging him because my intuition was recovery, as I was running, and I never get this. Usually when I'm running, I'll get you're strong and resilient, or you've got this, or that's my mantra. But the whole time I was running, I was recovery. And I was in pain. So anyway, I stopped and I was like, okay, nah, I've got to listen to my body. Anyway, that day I started getting more and more fatigued. I saw my friend Taryn, who I befriended at the beach, another synchronicity. So I met Taryn 3 years ago. She was at the beach and our 2 daughters were playing, and they're both named Ivy. So it was Ivy and Ivy. Her Ivy's taller than my Ivy, and my Ivy's older. And her Ivy's an Aries and I'm an Aries. So you got fire and water because Ivy's a Cancer, like my Ivy. So so they go really well together. You'd think my one's the fire, honestly. Ivy, if you're watching this now or in the future, you are a weapon. So I'm going to dial that in so you don't become John Wick. Anyway, so I was with Taryn. I was really fatigued and I tried everything. I was like, I'm off coffee because of my blood pressure. I had a matcha latte. I had the turmeric latte. So then I was like, okay, maybe if I just eat some stuff. So I had crackers with her and some cheese. And then I got my platter ready for the pajama party. Anyway, I started to feel not so fatigued, but my legs were blown up. So my calves were really tight. They were really sore. My ankles had heaps and heaps of swelling in them. So anyway, I've got the compression garments back on, but these are my recovery ones. Whereas when I was running, I was wearing my running ones, which are just calf ones. So maybe they're too tight. I don't know. If anyone's had this issue and you've had them where they're too tight, please let me know. So I'm wearing these and I just got to wear them. And then I kind of did think, and look, this is again something I've really got to work on. And this is where we as humans, right, can trace things back and you go, well, why am I doing that? And it's like, I'm actually consciously aware of why I'm doing it. So when I ride my bike, I don't just ride my bike normally. Nothing can be done normally when it comes to me. So when I ride the bike, I'm like fucking Rocky Balboa. I'm like fucking, ugh! And like I'm going up the street and I'm like screaming and I'm like cycling as fast as I can, and like I'm trying to cycle like 40 k's an hour and flying down the road and woo, like, because I love it, right? And it feels amazing when you're cycling and you're like, it's like guys will relate when you get a weight and you lift a really heavy weight and you just have that feeling of like, fuck yeah. You know, and you get real excited and it's like it's like the adrenaline and the high and just the excitement of it. So like when I cycle or when I run, I want to be like, kind of like when I do Muay Thai or kickboxing. It's like, sorry, one and the same. You know, I want to just be like, oh, just fucking annihilate it. But obviously if you're at that level all the time of like drive, like go, you get injured. So what I notice is when I do my recovery cycle, which like, what the fuck, that's not recovery. You're pretty much like belting your body. What I notice is, because I'm not used to the gears yet, now I get it. Low gear is for when you're going up a hill, higher gear is when you're on the flat. I think I was just like smashing it, and probably like I didn't have my bike serviced, so my gears were a little bit fucked as well. So I've just messed up my ankle, and it's always on my left side. Now here's something really interesting, which again, this is going off marathons, but if you're watching this, you're obviously interested in the shit we talk about. So on your left side, your left ankle, right? There was a period where I kept hurting my left side. So I would run and I'd trip, and I would trip up on my left side, but I'd fall on my right side. So tripping up left, hurting right, tripping up left, hurting right. And all of my injuries are on my right. So when I own my dog daycare, we love dogs. My dog bite from a staffy being attached to my leg is on my right. And when I ran with the trotters and I fell, because they literally are like trotters or horses, and that's what they love fucking hills. They love climbing. So we were in this bush area and I slid, and there was this massive, like I've got this like massive graze, but it's not even just a graze, it's actually like stains my leg now. So the left side, right, is that right? Anyway, this side that's injured all the time is your feminine energy, and this side that is got all the scarring is my masculine energy. And this is what's really interesting. So I have I'm consciously aware that I'm not in my feminine as much as what I have been in the past. So in 2021, I'd say, I was very, very in my feminine. And that's when I was spending a lot more time doing my mediumship, doing readings, really being connected, being in flow. My partner at the time was very masculine. So like you can't see him being with anyone that's masculine because they clash. He was more like, because he's so masculine, and like I don't want to badmouth him. So all my partners have brilliant traits, and like anyone, right? We all have brilliant traits. We all have the strengths and weaknesses. So I was so in my feminine. I wasn't wearing any shoes. I was wearing all my flowy dresses. It was like a little fairy. It was like dainty and fairy, but I had no boundaries, completely people pleasing, walk all over me. I was like a complete open channel. I really struggled when I did a reading once. I just couldn't breathe, and then I was like finding it really difficult. Thank God Vic was there, so she knew what to do. And like energetic boundaries, everything. It was like enmeshment, absorption, too empathetic, you know, all energies. It didn't matter like what it was. It was just I was having a hard time. So I'm very grateful that I met Susie and Stephen at the time. That was a blessing, and that was meant to be. Oh, I'm getting attacked. So anyway, the left side is your feminine. I'm aware at the moment I'm very much not in my feminine energy. And I feel like for men, like that would be, I can understand why, you know, with the dynamic, and I've spoken to my mate Nick about this. Sorry, this is going off marathons. The dynamic with the feminine and the masculine, and how, you know, women and men really need to have a balance of both. Anyway, back to the story. So I'm going off on a tangent. With the running, I kept tripping up on the left. So essentially what that means is it's like an indication of you need to be more in your feminine, you're too much in your masculine, slow down, recover, meditate, love a little, like don't be so like regimented, like don't be fucking David Goggins because you're a woman, and you know, it's not about stereotyping, like women shouldn't be one way and men shouldn't be one way, but we are masculine and feminine, and we have the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and you want to embody both. You want to have both. You don't want to be a toxic masculine and a toxic feminine. So I notice when I go way too in my masculine and I'm like an absolute weapon, and you're starting to be like Lara fucking Croft and you want to like assassinate people, I always hurt my left, and then I get the scarring on my right. So it's an indication from the universe, like slow down, go more in your feminine, and yeah, you're gonna like have, I don't know, it's just, I know it. Anyway, so the game plan is this: light recovery until Saturday. So it's Sunday here today, Australian Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be on light recovery, which is just compression boots, ice bath, spa. Probably not going to do any sauna. It's just going to be hot cold therapy. So my coach said hot cold therapy, compression boots, light swimming, light cycling, not like Rocky Balboa, no screaming down the street. So the music can't be, you know, Fast and Furious. And where am I at with the mental challenges of that? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it is fucking hard. It is really hard. Going from being like fully like smashing it, and as I said, like the real Fast and the Furious, where it's like yes, and like really like I love that. It's like yes, the faster and the, you know, like that high, that adrenaline and the endorphins and the excitement and all of that is like, oh, so it's almost like, and I'm aware like it can have an addictive personality. So it's almost like yeah, I'm struggling with that. I'm struggling with just being bleh. And like loud music isn't cutting it. You know, like I can't do anything fast. You know, you can't drive excessively fast. You can't, you know, cycle excessively fast. I need to find a drag race. Actually, I used to do that when I was younger. No word of a lie. At Homebush, when it wasn't the way it is now, it used to be clear and there was a strip. And I used to take my car down and we'd do all street racing. Yeah, so I've nearly lost my license many, many times over when I was younger. But I love that. My favorite thing of all time was like cars. Oh, shout out to my boyfriend, Charlie. Previous boyfriend, sorry. Like his partner would be like, what the fuck? I didn't know he was dating you. You know, because he was fully into cars and he's a mechanic and he'd take me to the drag races, and yeah, I still love all of that. So, you know, it's hard when you're someone that's like, actually, I'm going to change the language of that. It's not hard. It's because I'm supposed to be doing this. That is the lesson. the lesson from the universe is patience and slow down. Because when we don't balance, we get injured. First person that came to mind was Glenn Aquilina. Sorry, Glenn. But it's so true, right? Like if we just, push our limits too much, we get injured. We hurt ourselves. I'm all for David Goggins, and this is not an attack on him. And I resonate with his story being like coming from a shit upbringing and being like the grind, I've got to wake up. But one thing I notice in his stuff is there's this like, there's a negativity behind it. It's like, I do it because I have to, and the alternative is I fucking hate it. Like I hated doing that shit. And it's like, I get that, right? Because it's like, I've been in that situation where like I've had no money and I've been on the single parent and had no child support coming in and no work coming in. But it's like I didn't run because it was like I hated my life. And I didn't do stuff because I was like, I fucking hate it, but I do it like I love it. It's like, it's not coming from a place of hatred. Like I do it because I actually love it and want to be happy and a fulfilled life and be positive and, see people happy. And I don't give a shit. Like, it's not for the money. It's not for the fame. It's not to move out of the shit area. Like, no word of a lie, I live in a shit area. I dead set live in a shit area. I have a beautiful, beautiful home that I'm super grateful for. But I live in a shit area. But I'm grateful that I live in a shit area because I see real people that are relatable. And the reason why I live in a shit area is it's a mirror back of my life, which is I relate to those people. I relate to people that have had a shit life, a shit upbringing, and they've turned to drugs, they've turned to alcohol, they've, been on Centrelink, they're on the DSP, they're on Job Seeker. I've been there, I've done it all. I've never taken drugs, never. And, I personally wouldn't because I'd just be concerned about particularly like high blood pressure. I've just always had a knowing of not touching it. Have I drank? Yes, of course I've drank. And I've noticed that where the times that I have drank is because I have felt shit. I've felt shit, and it's a way of escaping your life. I had a period in 2023 where I was drinking and wasn't an alcoholic, but to me, even having like drinking on the weekends to me was something's not right with me because I don't drink at all. I don't drink. I'm a non-drinker. And I knew I was drinking, I was vaping. I was so unhappy. I was like, I didn't know if I wanted to be a lawyer anymore. I wasn't sleeping real well. I was lost. And so, I can relate to people that have like alcohol and drug because my upbringing has been that whole escapism and, not being raised in a home where you've got the two parents. And I'm mindful of, the fact that my parents might watch this, but from the age of 3, my family was broken up. I wasn't raised in a good area, we lived in just normal middle class area. And, I didn't live with my biological father. And, my mother was, not a single mother. She was repartnered, but she was a woman that was doing the best that she could with the tools she had at the time. And I'm not going to, go into details as to my stepfather because this is not an intention of defaming anyone, but that's a story for another day. But essentially what I'm trying to say is, being in that area, and going back to what he said was, I look at it and go, no, I love that I'm in that area because I can relate to those people. And I truly believe that, our life's work comes from, the reason we are where we are. Like I had all those experiences to give to the world, that was it's my purpose, right? And had I not had all that experience and had I not currently even live in this shit area, then I wouldn't be who I am, and I'm not trying to run away from that. Like I actually don't have my actual biological name. My biological name was Lauren. And I changed that to Alicia. My father named me Alicia, and that was my middle name. And I reflect now and look, I'd never change my name back to Lauren, and I love my name Alicia. And I never regret that decision. It was a decision. It feels right for me, and I love and respect my mother, and I'm very grateful that I have the mother that I have. But to me at the time, like, a big part of it was an identity thing of aligning myself with who I, felt was my rock, and my real strength, and my, solid parent who I felt, at the time I felt safe with. But I suppose what I'm trying to say is, in doing certain things, it's almost like what I noticed with him. And again, this is not to defame him. Like, he's brilliant. I mean, he's, but what's success, right? But he is brilliant, and I'm not having a dig at him, but I'm just mindful, of things like what's your intention, where's it coming from? And I think having gratitude for where you're at, and having the drive of doing things because there's love behind it, is something that resonates with me. Not I fucking hate this, so I've got to do this shit, or, fucking don't be a weak cunt, or, get up and fucking do it, you fucking piece of shit. Like, no good comes from talking to people like that, and language is so powerful. If someone, sat there and spoke to me like that, and I've actually been spoken to like that, I've been spoken to where I've been told, I'll give you a fucking reverse mohawk, and, you're a fucking this, and it's like, that doesn't help anyone. That doesn't propel people to go, I want to be the best version of myself and smash my goals. No. Like, maybe for some people, but it still manifests into, other things. And what I've noticed from his story is, he will talk about how he would run injured, and he was in agony, and his body would be broken. And it's like, that's what happens when it all comes from a place of, like, anger. They say pounds of pain. So, and dis-ease in the body. Like, you look at anyone who has an obesity problem, and the eating is not because, we all love food, right? So you can't sit there and judge them and go, they're just fucking lazy, or they don't give a shit. That's so not fucking true. You talk to any overweight person, and generally they're really sad. Like, sad shit has happened, and, like, watch The Whale, I think it is. And they've turned to food for comfort, and then they're just in that cycle. Everybody's got a cycle. Even if you see the fittest fucking guy on the planet, he's in a cycle. We all have cycles, and it's just recognizing that and going, do I want to break this cycle? Like mine, I have a cycle. I know for a fact that if I don't pull up and stop being Fast and the Furious, then I'm going to get injured, and I won't make the ultra. I won't. Guaranteed, I will not make it. I will not make it. I will not get to the start line. I will not finish it. That's just a given. It's like, you either listen to the professionals and you listen to your body, or you're going to be fucked, and you're going to, like, be angry and resentful. So anyway, this has gone from just being a little snippet as to where I'm at with the marathon to, like, a full-on spirituality and life coaching and fucking I don't know what. It's just gone down a massive rabbit hole. But anyway, that's the update for day whatever. As I said, I've forgotten already. Day, I'll look it up before I post this, but that's where we're at. So no running until Saturday. Saturday will be a long run, and today the game plan is to alter the 24-hour meal plan and to look at what the coach sent me for running. What else? Alter my 24-hour run, and I'm not on the coffee still, so I've got the hiccups, sorry. Coffee's gone, and I'm having matcha lattes and turmeric lattes, but I'm having the matcha latte because that's got a small amount of caffeine. So I noticed that yesterday, having no caffeine, I was tangry. Like, I was tired, and I was getting, like, snappy, and I was like, and I'm not good when I'm tired. So when I had the coffee, I perked up heaps. So I'm really excited about that, because now I know when we do the ultra to make sure that coffee's in the 24-hour plan. So that's where I'm at for now. The sun hasn't come up yet. I can't make my camera turn around. And to make sure that the quality of my socials is a lot better, Ezra is going to be taking over my socials, but it's still going to be all me, my content. She's just going to tidy it up so it looks a little bit better for when like stuff needs to be edited, or like the covers of it, or I don't know, just and time wise, you know, like my priority is training, my priority is myself, and then Ivy, and my family. And my family includes all my friends and kickboxing mates and colleagues. My family is all those people. But anyway, so I'm signing out because we're at 25 minutes. You will be like, fuck, I'm so over listening to this woman. But anyway, smash your Sunday, have an amazing day, and I'll check in, maybe not tomorrow. I'll see when I feel like the best time is to check in, because this week's going to be a little bit like not much. I think I'll check in just before Saturday's run to give you guys an update on how the ankle's going. So I have booked in with Running Repairs at Long Jetty. They've got all this technology, so I've got that booked. What else am I doing? I'm going to look at the ankle brace, but I might see what they say about that, and I'll go from there. So have an amazing day, and I hope you got something out of this, and keep believing in yourself, and just get up, and know that there are genuine people in this world that care about other people. So if you're ever in a bad place, particularly, this is now going down my path of work, but just know that there are genuine people that actually care about people, that don't do it because they get paid to do it, you know, and yeah, just know that, you know, you can change your whole life, but no one's going to do it for you. People can give you the tools, but the person who is literally the one in your life that's going to make you the happiest and the most loved is yourself. So do everything for yourself, love yourself, and everything else in your life is just the cherry on top.